Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the National School District meeting of the Governing Board. Call this to order. Please rise with us for the Pledge of Allegiance. Place your hand over your heart. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Will you please call the roll?
Mr. Mitchell?
Present.
Ms. Alves?
Present.
Ms. Benford Castañeda?
Present.
Ms. Pizarra?
Present.
Ms. Gates?
Present. All right. Item 5 is presentations. 5A, to recognize Paola Pineda as the National School District Employee of the Month for August 2024.
Good evening. Well, I have the pleasure and the honor of introducing to you an employee from our Human Resources Department that always does a fantastic job serving our community and our employees. I'm very, very proud to nominate Paola for always going above and beyond. She just works very well with everybody and is always communicating with our principals and our hiring managers and all of our employees that need support. She is there every day. She's on time. She is dedicated to her job, and I can't thank her enough for everything that she does. And I just want to say that I have something for you and to say thank you for helping our department shine every day. So I'd like to give you a button. And also, Martha has become her new supervisor this year, and Martha would like to say a few words.
Paola is a valuable member of our human resources team. She's always willing to help everyone. She goes above and beyond in providing excellent customer service and assistant applicants, principals, district office personnel, and school employees. Paola, today, we want you to know you make a big difference. Thank you very much for your hard work and dedication to excellence. We are honored to work alongside such an excellent individual like you. Thank you.
On behalf of the Governing Board of the National School District, let's see, first I'll do the Employee of the Month Award, recognizing your noteworthy contributions to our children and families. Secondly, I'd like to present you with this Employee of the Month pen. This is really cool. I was just noticing this. It's a wooden pen, says Employee of the Month on it. Don't lose it. You'll be using it every day. And that's just from us, from the board, the administration, thanking you for a job well done, because obviously people are noticing. So would you like to say a few words? Go ahead.
I just want to say thank you to all of you for being here today, and also thank to my department, because I receive support every day from all of them, especially in this time, so a lot of hiring, quite busy. Super busy. I want to thank also to my boyfriend, because he supports me when I get to work to home very late. I have the dinner ready. Thank you. Thank you. I'm very happy to be in this department. I was working, as you know, in the school but I have been feeling that I have been growing so much here. Thank you.
Over here. The whole department.
Come on.
Support
staff.
Employees. Definitely spend enough time.
Thank
All right. The presentations, let's just face it, this is the best part. 5B is to introduce and welcome the new employees, so Dr. Temple. Yay. Breathless? All right.
I have the pleasure of introducing our new employees. The way it works in our national school district is I call you up and you'll come up here, stand, and we'll take pictures. And so I want to say thank you and welcome to the NSD family. Our first new employee, I'm going to call the ones that are present first, and then I'll talk about the ones who couldn't make it. Our first employee is Jessica Nuno, school psychologist, district office. Ms. Nuno has over a year of experience as a psychologist. She holds a bachelor's degree in psychology from Los Angeles Pacific University and a master's degree in school psychology from Alliant International University. Welcome, Jessica. Our next new employee is Ariana Hernandez, temporary classroom teacher at Central. Ms. Hernandez has worked as an impact teacher and as a temporary classroom teacher for the National School District. She holds a bachelor's degree in liberal studies from San Diego State University. Welcome back, Ariana. Our next new employee is Victoria McClinchy, temporary STEM teacher. Ms. McClinchy has over 22 years of experience as a classroom teacher. She holds a bachelor's degree in history from Towson University in Towson, Maryland. She received her elementary degree from SUNY Old Westbury University. Welcome, Victoria. Our next new employee is Echo Blocker, teacher at Olivewood School. Yay. Ms. Blocker has 2 years of experience as a classroom teacher. She comes from the La Mesa Spring Valley School District. She holds a bachelor's degree in English from San Diego State University. Welcome, Echo. Our next new employee is Rachel Patterson, temporary classroom teacher at Olivewood. Ms. Patterson has 4 years of experience as a classroom teacher. She comes from Escondido Union School District. She holds a bachelor's degree in philosophy from California Polytechnic State University and a master's degree in multicultural, multilingual education from the California State University. Welcome, Rachel. Our next new employee is Monica Castro, administrative assistant, Ira Harbison School. Ms. Castro has more than 22 years of experience working for the school district, so welcome. Our next new employee is Maria Romero Macias, child nutrition assistant in Ira Harbison School. Ms. Romero comes from San Diego Ari Craft Interior, where she worked. Welcome, Ms. Maria. So I'd like to take a group photo.
I'll do it.
Those are, oh, I'm sorry, yes. Ruth Romero, I'm sorry.
You have to save the best for last.
Apologize. Ms. Ruth Romero, teacher at John Otis School. Ms. Romero has more than 2 years of experience as a classroom teacher. She holds a bachelor's degree in liberal studies from San Diego State University. Welcome, Ruth. Oh, yes, I apologize. She has since transferred to Palmer Way School. Thank you. Welcome back, Ruth. Okay, I'm just gonna read off a couple more new employees. We have Julia Helmer, speech and language pathologist. Julia couldn't make it today, but Ms. Helmer has more than 7 years of experience as a speech pathologist. She holds a bachelor's degree in sociology from the University of California, Santa Cruz, and a master's degree in communication disorders from San Francisco State University. Welcome, Julia. Rachel Herndon, temporary classroom teacher at Central School. Ms. Herndon has over 6 years of experience as a classroom teacher. She holds a bachelor's degree in business administration from San Diego State University and a master's degree in education from the University of Monterey Bay. Welcome, Rachel. Our next new employee is Elizabeth Maldonado Miranda, temporary classroom teacher. Ms. Maldonado comes from Fullerton School District, where she was a substitute teacher, and she holds a bachelor's degree in Chicano Studies and a master's in education from National University. Welcome, Elizabeth. And another employee returning, Wheeler Runyon, temporary classroom teacher at Olivewood School. Mr. Runyon worked as a temporary classroom teacher for the National School District in 23-24, and he holds a master's in education from National University. Welcome, Wheeler. I have 2 more. Ms. Avery Tax, also temporary BAPA teacher for the district office. Ms. Tax comes from Redlands Unified School District, where she did her student teaching. She holds a bachelor's degree in liberal arts and a master's in education from the University of Redlands. So welcome. Okay, and our last new employee, Angie Toscano, temporary classroom teacher at Ira Hardison. Ms. Toscano comes from La Mesa Spring Valley School District. She holds a bachelor's degree in interdisciplinary studies from San Diego State University. Welcome, Angie, and all of our new employees to NSD.
Can I say something really quick?
Yes.
I just want to say thank you to everybody for being here tonight. I think it's one of the most well-attended board meetings of our new employees. I just want to say welcome and thank you for being here tonight. So, thank you.
All right, well, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Kevin, for introducing us to all of you. And thank you for joining us. It's good to have you as part of the National School District family. We are moving to item 6, which is public communications. I should tell you, it is that we are moving to the business portion of our evening, and you are always welcome to stay. Some people do choose this time to go do other things, because, you know, it is the business portion. But again, feel free to stay and listen. We will have lots of conversation. But if you have other things calling you home, we will see you around the district. All right.
Enjoy.
Great.
Congratulations and welcome.
All right. Again, item 6 is public communication. Public communication provides the public with an opportunity to address the board regarding an item on the agenda or other topic. Anyone wishing to address the board shall submit a request for oral communications card. Cards are available near the entrance to the boardroom and are to be submitted to the recording secretary. A member of the public who wishes to address the board on any such matter is limited to 3 minutes for one matter, up to a maximum of 5 minutes for all closed and open session matters. There shall be a limit of 20 minutes for any matter unless such time limit is waived by a majority vote of the board. Members of the public may not yield any time to other speakers. No board action can be taken. Do we have any speakers? Okay, thank you. Item 7 is the agenda. Item 7A is to accept the agenda. Do I have a motion?
I second the motion.
Thank you.
I win.
Tag, you're it. All right. Motion made by, okay. All right, do we have any questions, any discussion? All right. Well, then I have a motion to accept the agenda by trustee Sarmiento, a second by trustee Avalos. Will you please vote?
Item passes unanimously.
All right, item 8. To approve the consent agenda and routine items of business. All items listed under the consent agenda are considered routine and will be acted upon in one action by the board. It is understood that the superintendent has recommended approval for these items. There will be no discussion prior to the time the board votes on the motion unless members of the board, staff, or public request specific items to be discussed and/or removed from the consent agenda. All items approved by the board will be deemed considered in full and adopted as recommended. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Second motion. Okay. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay. I have a motion to approve by trustee Bettencourt Castaneda with a second by trustee Avalos. Please vote.
Item passes unanimously.
All right, item 9 is policies, regulations, and bylaws. And 9A is the first reading and adoption of Board Bylaw 9270 and deletion of Exhibit 1, 9270, conflict of interest. Dr. Brady, would you speak to this before we complete? Because we're looking at the first reading part. Thank you.
Yes, so as we discussed on a couple of other policies that I brought forward, this one is a first reading and adoption separate than our batch policies where we take them for first reading, have some time to review them, go through them in a separate meeting as a workshop, take any edits back, make the final edits and bring them back for approval in a third board meeting. This particular board bylaw is for conflict of interest, which each year we have to register with the County of San Diego. It's your Form 700. You do it every year in April, declaring any conflict of interest. The governing board, as well as key members of the staff that deal with contracts, have to disclose conflict of interest. What we've noticed in the last couple of years is that even though we submit our board bylaw and the exhibit, only the board bylaw gets posted on the county website. So we've noticed in looking at some trends, some districts are merging the two. They're deleting their exhibit and they're merging it as an appendix within the board bylaw. So when you click on your attachment, you'll see that it's not deleting and going away. It's deleting as a separate exhibit and being merged into the board bylaw to be part of as an appendix. Then when we submit it to the county, it will be all together as one and it would be more transparent to the public. The second change that you'll notice is that we do have a new employee category, which is Executive Director for Information Technology. That position has been added to this board bylaw as a requirement to file. So those are the two changes in the board bylaw.
As everyone had received this earlier, we should have had the chance to read ahead of time. So I'm going to ask if I have a motion to adopt.
I approve your motion to adopt.
Yes.
I second the motion.
And for clarification, that's the motion to adopt the bylaw and delete the exhibit. Okay, just making sure that I have that on record correctly.
Yes.
And I second her too.
Thank you. Do we have any questions? Any thoughts? Okay. All right. Then I have a motion to adopt board bylaw 9270 and to delete exhibit 1 9270, conflict of interest, by trustee Bettencourt Castaneda with a second by trustee Lizarraga. Please vote.
Item passes unanimously.
Thank you. Item 10 is general functions, and 10A is a report by trustee Bettencourt Castaneda on CSBA's delegate assembly meeting.
Okay, so as you know, my meeting was in May. However, we've had many reasons why we've had to postpone. So some of this would be a little outdated. However, I am still going to provide you my update. So you have in front in a worksheet format, so you have an opportunity to write down some notes. So there has been a lot of information provided to us in a 2-day time frame, but I'm going to give you the cliff notes of my meeting. So I'll get started. So a few items that were, few items of the meeting that I'm going to discuss are we start off with the San Diego CSBA meeting, and then we had the late start update, the AEC annual conference information, the delegate policy platform, and then the legislative political update. And then I am part of the candidate review committee, so that's why I also incorporated that as part of my update. So the San Diego CSBA meeting, it was very brief update because we had very minimal time, but we did have to meet because we actually had our we had to vote. We had our voting elections. So I want to just provide the update as far as who we voted for this year. We voted for president as Kate Bishop, which is she represents Chula Vista School District. Vice president was Cipriano Vargas, and he represents Vista Unified. Secretary is Melissa Krog, and she is part of Warner Unified. Treasurer is Dawn Perfect, and she's part of Ramona Unified. Communications chair is Sabrina Basso, and she's part of San Diego Unified. Communications chair, that was communications chair. And legislative chair is Marla Stritch, and she's from Encinitas Union. And I'm actually the chair of that committee. And we try to encourage those to represent all of the Region 17, because we want to make sure that everybody is represented. And so that is just as what we had time for elections. And we were up in Sacramento for the election process. So next I'm going to just cover the late start update. And the reason why we continue to have the discussion on the late start is to continue to hold our legislators accountable for the mandates, because it's not something that is actually funded. So we want to make sure that it's a continuous topic that is part of the process. So the late start times has impacted the minutes for students. There was a survey that was sent out, and the respondents told CSBA that the researchers that students miss instructional time in the afternoon due to the late start times. Of the respondents, 69% of the superintendents heard that from the faculty and staff that the late start times led to students leaving school early due to the extracurricular activities. And I know that it doesn't impact us as a elementary school district, but I share this because this was part of our pillar breakout sessions the last time. And so I shared that with you all last delegate assembly update. And this is part of the impacts from our update from last time. And then late start times are impacting both LEAs, which is our local educational agency, and student transportation. So that's why sometimes you see districts having to ask other districts for help with the transportation program. And 81% of the superintendents who responded to a question regarding changes in transportation scheduling said that their district had to change transportation schedules due to the late start school days. And the 30% of the board presidents reported, because they were part of the questioning, reported that additional transportation expenditures were directly related to the late start program. So, and the 93%, which is almost the entire respondents of the CBOs, said that expenditures were directly related to the transportation as well. And then superintendents, boards, parents, and students
expressed concerns about the effects of the late start times on the transportation with the before and after school program, the late start program. So the late start times added extra layers of complexity to the transportation scheduling and the resources allocation, particularly for the extracurricular activities and the monitoring with the drop off as well. So it actually added extra layers because of them having to add additional staffing, and it just was a lot of additional funding that was not really accounted for, and it's not being supported by the legislators that were mandating this time frame change. But some of the positives that they wanted to add are it was reducing some of the traffic flow of some of the regular traffic that would have potentially regular traffic. It allows for more zero periods, and then for students to be able to take additional classes. So that was some positives. So there's some weighing some of the options. So that was some of the updates. There's a lot more updates, but those are some of the updates that were provided. The AEC, I know some of us have already signed up, and we already have this information, but if you have not signed up, please sign up. It is just December 5th through 7th in Anaheim. It is expected to sell out because it's in Anaheim and it's by Disneyland. It is going to be a hot ticket item. So the delegate assembly platform this year, the questions that we were asked is what the prompting questions were: what are our plans to address short-term cuts, long-term cuts, and the CSBA in particular interest in how local flexibility is used, and the potential for impacts, including but not limited to the following areas: teachers, staff, retention, textbooks and instructional materials, professional development, academic students services, social emotional student services, and then others. And then so a lot of the areas which we're spoken about was reducing workforce and for declining enrollment across all categories, classified, certificated, management, and then how to carry over ESSER funds. And some of the questions were if there was a expiration date, how can we extend it out, and if we can speak to our legislators, if we had it earmarked, if it was going to expire, but if we had it earmarked, if we can still use it for future funds, even though we had it earmarked, if it was going to expire. I mean, it was just trying to see how CSBA can assist us with being able to utilize those funds, even though it was going to expire, but we already have it earmarked. So just trying to see if we can utilize some of those funds, even though it was going to expire, but if there's ways to maneuver some of those funds, even though it's going to expire. So how ECSB can advocate for that. Tightening the staffing, use direct reserve when needed, retirement incentives. I know some of the stuff we've already have previously used. Eliminating positions when there was budgeting, but not the position was not being filled. So those are just some of the things that I know that our district has already previously used, but these are kind of some of the things that other districts have not used, but ideas that they have put out there. Allocate one-time purchases. Something that I had heard that I know our district has not done. They've used a lot of the one-time money for ongoing expenses. And now they're trying to dig themselves out of that. So good thing that we did that. I was listening to a lot of the conversation and I'm like, wow, that's going to be very difficult for some of these districts to really have to do major cuts. And because a lot of those expenditures that they've set for themselves for one-time monies for ongoing expenses is going to be very difficult. And it was interesting because we keep talking about our enrollment, declining enrollment, declining enrollment, declining enrollment. And that was the topic across the board. And in my breakout group, there was only one district. And I think he was like in the middle of the Mojave Desert. He was the only one saying his district was like booming. And everybody's like, so what are you doing? What are you doing? Well, he's in the middle of nowhere. It's so remote, but they're building houses like it's no tomorrow, but it's literally in the middle of nowhere. And so it's so feasible to live out there, but literally it's in the middle of nowhere. And it's not that they're doing anything special. It's just that it's where you can live. I mean, you can afford it, but how could you live out? It's like, so, I don't know, I wouldn't, it's so remote, so could you imagine what you have to sacrifice to go out there? But he was the only one literally that said that they're having increased their enrollment and everyone else is in declining enrollment. So it was the only one. So, but everybody across the board, it's declining enrollment, declining enrollment, declining enrollment. So he was the only outlier that had increased enrollment. So, but there was a lot of same issues across the board, you know, and prioritizing the most effective way of using ESSER funds. So it's, you know, everybody is having the same concerns that we all have, and it's nothing new. So we just have to continue doing basically what we're doing to ensure that we are sustaining, you know, as a district. So, Dr. Burke, I'm pretty sure you've heard it all. So, yeah. The legislative political update. Things that they've mentioned is new leadership makes new allies. You know, some Democrats are saying are moving to the middle aisles to keep issues, key issues, and such as, you know, crime and homelessness. And early budget actions shows that the reality of the state budget deficit is setting in. The budget situation is, it will likely get worse. Our response to the governor's proposal will impact future year funding. The question asked is, what is your CBO facing? Minimal COLA increase, salary pressures and salary schedule maintenance, CalPERS increase, staffing position control, general inflation pressures, declining enrollment, the end of ESSER funding, budget apportionment cuts and deferrals. And then the CBO's worst fear is a structural deficit and cash flow issues.
No worries.
Yeah. So, like I said, I'm sure you've heard it all. So, you know, and it's just, you know, it's, again, it's not unique to our district. They keep repeating the same thing over and over again, but it's not something that we're doing alone. CSBA is continuously supporting our districts, you know, to ensure that we continue to advocate together. We are supporting one another. That is why it's very important that we continue as a unit to have the unity as CSBA, because the bigger numbers as we go together with the legislators and we continue to have that support, we will be able to have that advocacy as a whole. So let's see, what else can I provide? There's a lot of information. I'm trying to keep it short because I know that we try to stay to a minimum. There are several state and assembly bills being supported by CSBA, state 1315 local educational agency reporting. This bill seeks to require that CDE compiles on annual basis a report on reports. So this is, I think I mentioned this one of the meetings. LEAs are required to compile a number of reports on annual basis, which require significant report resources and staff time to reproduce. I mentioned this one time about all the reporting that we have to report. So this bill seeks to identify the number of reports required to highlight the resources required to compile the reports and the assets, their values. So basically, they were planning to bring in to our legislators, like all the reports that districts are required to report. However, when they really thought it through, it was going to be like trucks and truckloads. And they said, yeah, that's probably not the best use of resources. And it was going to be like U-Hauls and U-Hauls of reports. So they said and they would probably fit in one of the legislators' office. So they're trying to minimize the amount, because I'm sure those of us that have gone to our legislators, their offices are small, but nonetheless, it's a lot of reporting. So they're trying to minimize the amount of reporting that our LEAs have to do, so that way we are not boggled down with all the reporting that it's taking us to have to do, and the manpower that it's required. Another thing, I know that again, we're an elementary school district, but it's something that it's probably very useful for our students. The AB 2927, it's a personal finance course for high school graduation requirements initiative. I'm not sure if any of you guys have heard this. It's a requirement for public school students receiving a high school diploma to have to pass a personal finance class starting in the year 2029 to 2030. The schools will be required to offer the course starting in 2026 to 2027. It's a personal finance class, which would require subjects, the topics as credit, loans, taxes, and others. And I just had this conversation with my son just a few days ago, how they should require this and this and this and that. And I'm like, hold on, they're going to require this. And it's like, I think this is far overdue, but it is something that is very important that our students need. I would like to see our district start small, because we might not be able to teach taxes and so on, but start something, because if we introduce something at a very little scale, when they get to the high school, it is something that it won't be so foreign to them. So just throwing it out there, don't get mad at me. And so it is something that's gonna go to,
Do we still go to Vista?
well, that was in my mind. I just couldn't but
Entrepreneurship skills.
I don't,
They used to, but I like post-COVID, I wasn't sure if we were still going to Vista, because I know that a lot of the fifth grade classes used to.
I
How
haven't.
about you get here?
Well, why can't we just create this town in our district?
But that's very different curriculum for financial education, so.
Go Dr. Kraft. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Hi, Dr. Kraft. Hi. I did meet with them, and there is still Biztown. Unfortunately, they've had to reduce the availability, and so we didn't have an opportunity to be part of it. So this year I'm supposed to meet again. We have to do a year out, but however, we do have a partnership with Mission Federal. And they do have a program that helps with financial literacy that we've been looking at. And there's partnership with it, also a parent component.
That's good. I think that's a great idea.
It's a great start, thank you.
Yeah, I think it's something that we really definitely have to incorporate with our students. I know that we can't control what the middle school does, but at least we can have some introduction when they leave with us, and it's only a couple of years lapse if they don't do anything in middle school, but in the high school that's something that's going to be required. So it's important because it is something that they are going to definitely use in the real world. So okay, and then the last slide, the candidate review committee. I'm also in this committee. So, we met in February, via Zoom, and we will meet actually also on Friday. We just recently, updated the candidate, criteria for the executive board, and it went forward to the executive committee for approval on March 22nd and was approved. And we will be conducting interviews in person in Sacramento on August 24th. So had I done this presentation earlier, applications were due June 6th. So, but nonetheless, it's closed. So other than that, if the new criteria I would have read to you, but it's going to be too long. So I will not read that out to you, but other topics that they did talk about were the cybersecurity, but we are doing great because we have hired a new person to take care of all of our problems for that. And then another thing was chronic absenteeism. There is a big problem out there in a lot of districts. So it's something that they're definitely working on, trying to figure out how we can help CSBA can assist districts and trying to tackle that problem that is out at the different districts, and then the workforce and investments and so on. So, and FAFSA was something that they were speaking about because of the new program that was launched. I guess there was a lot of bugs out there that they were trying to fix. So they're doing some investment on trying to figure out the new program. So there was a lot of complaints, but they're going to fix. So nonetheless, I am done. If you guys have any questions.
I have a question. Can you go over again the officers that were just recently elected? I was trying to write them down, but you're
Oh, for
President, Vice President.
Oh, I'm sorry. So for President, Kate Bishop for Chula Vista School District. Vice President, Cipriano Vargas from Vista Unified. Secretary, Melissa, and his last name is Krogh, Krogh, from Warner Unified. Treasurer, Don Perfect from Ramona Unified. And Communications Chair, Sabrina Basso, BAZZO, San Diego Unified. And then Legislative Chair, Marla Stritch, STRICH, and she's from Encinitas Union.
Thank you.
Any additional questions?
I do have a question. You mentioned that you're a chair currently. Do you have a term? 2 years, 3 years, or 1 year?
So it's hopefully 1 year.
Okay. Just a question.
Did you say?
Yeah, you mentioned that she's a chair.
I'm the chair for the election.
For the legislative, right? Yeah. Well, that's good. Yeah, just to know, because, you're doing our work behind the scenes, but just want to see how long you've been in there, because you've been elected for a long time, even beyond what's there. Like, they chose chairs and it's 1 year term and they elect again. Right? They rotate, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's every year.
All right, thank you.
Did you have a question, Barbara?
I don't have a question.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't raise my hand.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the report.
Thank you very much. And Dr. Kraft, if we are unable to get anything going with Mission Fed, they always have a Dr. Burke department. I'm sure that in his spare time, that he can put together financial literacy program.
How about a shadowing apprenticeship for the kids, round table, maybe?
So,
I appreciate that.
they have the expertise.
Bingo.
That came from the education side of that.
There we go. All right, item 11 is educational services. Item 11A is to approve CT 4218 with Arts Education Connection San Diego to provide school day music and movement classes. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve. I'll second that.
Okay, Dr. Kraft.
Yes, thank you. This is the ongoing partnership that we've had, this is the ongoing partnership that we've had with this organization. It's a way of bringing in professional artists into the classroom. They also provide us the ballroom dancing. I don't remember what ballroom dancing. They did have theater arts, but we were able to build our own theater arts program. But we still provide a professional artist with our teachers to do it. But in this case, they do bring in outside artists. We do support the arts in that way and providing them an opportunity, and the students and the teachers have the opportunity to interact with these professional experts, watch how art is perceived outside of our educational world and bring it into our educational world. So we're excited to be able to bring this. This is part of our broad course of study for our littles.
Do we have any questions?
I do.
Okay, Trustee DeSalvo.
Yeah, thank you. I just was reading the whole contract on it, and yes, and that indeed include special education classroom, even though they're gonna have their own instruction time. But they're gonna have a showcase at the end. So I will encourage all the parents that are engaged with these little ones, because it's preschool and PK, right? So to attend, so I'd like to see they can have reach to say, and you can reach to us to see them. I would like to be there.
Okay, I
Please.
will. I put that in
Whoever
my
wants to
notes.
go. That'll be so cool. Thanks.
If teasing out with this, we'll contact them. It may end up being either by class or by group.
Okay.
TK and then kinder, depending on how the artists work with the teachers and that.
Okay, thank you.
In the past, when they did ballroom, I know that parents were invited because I got to be invited. And so it was it's very fun to see your kids do these things, and it was very fun to see my very chill son get to do ball. Well, there were so many places he was not chill, but ballroom dancing he had done during after school, because it was an after school offering as well. And he had 2 years of practice before he got to 6th grade. And so by then it was something that he was comfortable with. And so it was a really neat opportunity to go and see those performances as a parent and get to be invited into the schools and see your children succeed at things. So now I do have a question though. And I don't have any other lights, so it can be my turn. So how is this incorporated with our VAPA STEM that's already going on? Because, is this extra coming in to what we're already doing? So how do we, is it extra? Is it built into the VAPA STEM time? Is it outside of it? How is that working for us?
So we have a strand under the broad course of study where we really start to build interest and access to professions outside of education, for kids to see what worlds might look like if you weren't going to be an educator. So that's part of that broad course of study. So this is separate from our VAPA and STEM time, and each grade level has a specific target. Of course, we try to, we want to make sure they're age appropriate and try to get, some academic benefits out of it also. So with the little ones, we know that oracy has a huge impact as well as music. So having music and singing songs and children's music, you get some of those components out of it. And so there's 10 sessions where the artist comes in, the artist in resident comes in, performs with the students and the teacher in the classroom. It's not separate, it's an engagement for all of them. In our VAPA program, the teacher isn't with the students, and it's consistent, it's 12 sessions throughout the year, longer period, and it has a different target in terms of it. ORC does tie into all of them, for all grades, but with the VAPA, it is theater arts, and like as I shared, it's more the arts and the drama, the theater presentation with this small music.
Any more questions?
And I just wanted to confirm, sorry if I didn't say it, that every grade level has a different target in terms of that broad course of study that interests me. So I did say that, I wanted to make sure I said that. Like animation, if it was sixth grade, third grade, we've just done the innovation partnership with San Diego County Office. Then we'll be sending our third graders there. It's amazing. And so we have local history with the Stein Farm and the first graders. So things that the students we want to promote their local community, we want to promote their interests. We want to give those opportunities for them each grade level that's a little more specialized, and hopefully start piquing their interest of what they want to do when they grow up.
Trustee Giselle?
Thank you. I just saw an observation on the contract too that says that it will be 30 to 5-minute sessions from August 18th through June 6th. So that will be enough time to do that. It will be during the week. I'm assuming this is one time a week, right? So can you be more specific about it?
Yes, we have a master schedule in which we, last year, our teachers did ask for tighter uninterrupted instructional time, so we spent quite a bit of time building a master schedule. We'll be calling them electives, where we're putting things like this. It's our VAPA and our STEM kind of set the foundation. So they'll be plugged in. I believe that it goes through a series. They have multiple artists. It's not just one artist. So you could be doing 3 schools, let's just say October, November, and you would do the singing and the ORC with the kids in there, and then you can have other artists doing 5 more artists starting in January to the others. So it depends on the company and the artists that they send out. But we all have a master schedule that gets plugged in, and the administration as well as the teachers can see that, and they'll get notification well in advance for this to happen. We got better this year.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, it might include theater, performances, singing, ballroom dancing, as you mentioned. So it will be something that we know. We should be able to provide a better understanding what this is, because it's big, and I just want the listeners of the board meeting that it's coming, and that creates confidence, and that creates social skills, and that creates peer interaction. So that's really grateful to do that.
And musical literacy.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a up and coming pop star sitting in that room. We're just waiting for them to grow.
All right, thank you.
Mariachi,
We know one already.
Live music, dancing.
All right, if there are no other questions, we have a motion to approve CT 4218 by Trustee Avalos and a second by Trustee Sarmiento. Please vote. Okay, item 11B to approve CT 4219 with Arts Education Connection San Diego to provide after-school music and movement workshops. Do I have a motion?
so moved.
Second motion.
Okay.
All right, Dr. Kraft.
Yes, this is in conjunction with the work we've been doing with expanded learning opportunities. Again, passion driven. During the day, every student in TKRK has the opportunity. Not everyone, is going to necessarily love the singing and, movement, but there are going to be those that are very passionate by it. And so they would get the opportunity after school to go deeper, to get more opportunity, and also to be amongst those that also share that interest. And so this will be added into our ELOC, our after-school expanded learning programs for our students to take advantage of at all of the 10 schools. And again, it'll be passion-driven.
Okay. Any questions? All right, I have a motion to approve CT 4219 by Trustee Sarmiento with a second by Trustee Avalos. Please vote. Okay, Okay, item 12, Human Resources. Item 12A, to approve CT 4222 with Brenna Berenger for extra support as Coordinator of Educational Services. Do I have a motion?
To approve.
One second.
Okay, Dr. Kevin.
So we have two vacancies right now. One is a preschool coordinator and one is an MTSS coordinator. And we recognize that they haven't been filled and we need some support in those areas. So we would like to contract with retired Brenna Berenger, who's a former employee, for the school year and for any of the needs that may arise. But right now we're looking at helping to support those two programs for now.
Thank you. Do we have any questions? All right, I have a motion to approve CT 4222 by trustee Lizarraga, a second by trustee Bettencourt Castaneda. Please vote.
And passes unanimously.
Item 13 is business services with 13A to authorize the Assistant Superintendent of Business Services to advertise for paint, asphalt, concrete, plumbing, and flooring at various school sites. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
I second the motion.
Okay, Dr. Burke?
Yes, I'll just share that, this is primarily for larger jobs and fast response jobs. For example, if we have a large plumbing issue, we will have already been out to bid and had a schedule of pricing set, and would get scale pricing to be able to work with the same plumber repeatedly in a compliant manner. So it's a way of keeping costs down and being able to react quickly and put the repair in place quickly with a known approved bidder. Similar with all of these jobs, we do have classified staff who work on these topics. We do have people that paint. We do minor patching of all asphalt, but if it's a larger project that requires, grind and overlay or some root removal below asphalt and things like that, that typically goes out to bid because of the equipment needs and things like that. Flooring is similar. It's just a large scale project. So being able to get out in front of it and get a competitive bid and then use that pricing sheet to keep costs down on any of these jobs as they come across the year.
Do we have any questions? All right, I have a motion to authorize by trustee Avalos, a second by trustee Sarmiento. Please vote.
And passes unanimously.
Item 13B, to adopt resolution 24-25.04, naming board district representatives for state allocation board administered programs. Do I have a motion to adopt?
Make a motion to adopt.
I second the motion.
Okay, Dr. Burke.
Yes, the representatives for the state allocation board is made up of some heavy hitters in the state of California, including state senators, the state superintendent of schools, and they are the ones who approve the actual allocations of money that go to the school districts and review any complaints or appeals about the allocation that go. That's their duty, that's their job. So they're kind of the sign off on sending the funds so that we have our cash flow and are able to make our payments and bills and payroll. This just establishes that it's a limited number of people in the district, and in our case here at National School District, we propose Dr. Brady and myself, who have the right and authority to receive those funds and sign off that we receive them.
Questions? I have a motion to adopt resolution 24-25.04 by trustee Avalos with a second by trustee Lizarraga. Please vote.
And passes unanimously.
Item 13C, to approve CT 4113 with Coast Citrus Distributors, Inc. for fresh fruits and vegetables. May I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
I second the motion.
Dr. Burke?
Yes, National School District has a passion for healthy foods as a district, and this is the extension of a contract that was approved last year. We had a contract approved last year, and this would just honor that and extend it as an option that was provided in the original contract signing to extend it this year. I think we can do 2 total, so we have another extension available to us should they continue to do a great job like they did last year.
Questions? We are not a curious group tonight. Okay. We have a-
explanations are just tacky.
Yeah,
That's it, thank you.
we read it.
We have a motion to approve CT 4113 by trustee Bettencourt Castaneda with a second by trustee Avalos. Please vote.
Item passes unanimously.
Item 13D, to approve CT 4221 with Genesis Floor Covering Inc. for bid number 23-24-306 for playground installations at various schools. May I have a motion to
Motion
approve?
to approve.
Second.
Okay, thank you. All right. Dr. Burke?
Yes, this was the bid that was advertised actually in spring. We were hoping to do a lot of this work over the summer, but there was a protest on this bid. We did have our legal department review the protest, make a declaration of determination, and Genesis Floor Covering is qualified and certified to do the work that they bid on, and they are the winning bidder with the low price, the low bid on this project.
Questions? Trustee Nisaraka, please.
Yes. This is not only for installation, it's also for removal of the old ones.
Correct, yes.
Does that require any expense?
No, removal and disposal is part of the contract.
Okay, thank you. That's all.
Just to remind our community, as we process some of these things, this is one of the things that takes us time. We have wanted to be doing this, and yet the process of removal of the playgrounds, we have to actually have permits. We have to actually find someone to remove safely. We have to go through many steps to do this to meet the needs of our students and our community. It's an exhaustive process to do it right and to make sure we are doing it correctly. And the steps just take time. It would be lovely if we could turn around and the moment we decided that we wanted to have something done, we could just start and have it happen. I would love that.
I would love it as a CBO, but as a taxpayer, I might not.
And so the fact that we are able to move forward and we will be able to address some of the playground needs for our kids, we've been waiting for it and we're looking forward to this for our students. So now we're going to vote on moving ahead with it. So we have a motion to approve CT 4221 by trustee Bettencourt Castaneda with a second by trustee Sarmiento. Please vote.
Item passes unanimously.
Item 13E, to accept donations. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Dr. Burke?
Yes, Office Depot is partnering with Lincoln Acres on school supply donations. So this is the first received allotment for this year. It's actually over the course of the spring that this is the first time we're bringing up. We're allowing them to donate an amount of stuff and get it ready, and then when it reaches a critical amount, bring it to the board and then put it into use. So this is the first lump donation that we are bringing forth. It's for $3,754.08 worth of school supplies. I want to be clear that that's the retail value of the supplies donated.
I do have a question. I'm not gonna put the vote. But is this going to the entire school or for the teacher who needs the meeting?
It's, the principal is determining how to distribute the.
Okay. Yeah, okay, thank you.
Trustee Bettencourt Castaneda?
So this is not the first time Office Depot has made a donation, correct?
I don't know the history of it, but over the course of this spring, they were collecting things to donate, and this is our first one that we're bringing forward. They are promising to bring forward more items this fall.
Well, then we have a motion to accept donations by trustee Bettencourt Castaneda and a second by trustee Sarmiento. Please vote. All right. Well, item 14 is board cabinet communications. We will begin with trustee Sarmiento.
I'd just like to say that it looks like the school year has got off to a wonderful start. Things are happening. But I'm at the school every day picking up my grandson, so I'm glad to see that things are moving like clockwork and no complaints, no problems that I know of, but glad to see that the kids are actively learning and doing a good job, and the faculty as well as the administration. That's all I have. Thank you.
Trustee Avalos.
Well, I'll let you know that I did attend the PTA meeting this morning at Palmer Way. They had some really good speakers. They really explained about the PTA doing their taxes. It is so important how to do it and what to do. And I mean, it was just step by step. There should be no excuses why they don't. If we don't do it, we don't have no PTA in our schools. And then, of course, we had another person that told us about the selling candies. How you can sell candies. The candies are delicious. They gave me 2 of them. I already ate them. I am a candy person and a donut person, a cookie person. And they're able to make quite a bit of money if they can sell the candies, which is a good way of making money as well. I thought it was a good representation there, and our Dr. Brady, superintendent, handed out some good information in Spanish and English, and she put it to work. Prevailing wages, side job. So I did go around, yeah. So I went around and I handed everybody their papers. Thank you, Dr. Brady, for putting it in English and in Spanish. It was very, very important. A lot of them did say they wanted both English and Spanish, and they did take extra ones to take home to the parents who could not attend the meeting today. The coffee was delicious. The sweetbread was great. And it was a great meeting, and I'm looking forward to the next meeting. And I want to thank all our new employees. Their backgrounds are excellent, and where they came from, my goodness gracious, to come to work here for the National School Board. I think that's great, great qualifications. Thank you very much. Glad to see everybody.
I have one thing.
Yes, I'm Picasso.
Well, you reminded
Wasn't
me,
me this
just
time.
based on what trustee Avalos was saying, about the fundraisers. Sometimes I don't order what is being offered. Obviously, I don't need it. So what I do, and I'd like to encourage others as well, if they don't want to purchase anything, just make a check out to the PTA, support your schools. These are people that are supporting our students. So I do it at the elementary, secondary level for all of my grandkids as well. Whenever they have a fundraiser, if I don't want to purchase something, I'll just make a flat check. And you know what's even better? When they do the fundraisers, maybe the school will get 40%, 50% of that income. However, you write a check, the school gets 100% of that. And so I think it's very important to support our schools. That's all I have. Thank you.
Good idea.
Thank you.
Trustee Bettencourt Castaneda.
Thank you. I just want to say congratulations to Paola Pineda. We can all attest that she's a very hard worker because we get a lot of her emails. So congratulations to her accomplishment as Employee of the Month for August. I also wanted to welcome our new employees to the NSD family. Like I said earlier, it was very pleasant to see that many employees here this evening.
And that just is very representative of the hard work that is being done in the HR department. So thank you for your leadership, Dr. Pippin, and all of the work that's being done in HR. I just also wanted to say, hope everyone is having a wonderful start of the school year. I know that there's a lot of work being done at our wonderful schools, and hope everybody is staying cool. And I know it's been very hot, and please be sure to stay hydrated. And I look forward to seeing all the wonderful faces of our students and all of our staff. And have a good evening. Thank you.
Trustee Lozada.
Surprised me, I don't have that much to say, but I will find something to say. Well, congratulations to Paula Pineda. I know she's most likely the face of the whole entire school district office when people come over and ask for information. And she's always welcome with a smile and a welcoming environment. That shows that I'm glad that she is being honored for them being the one. Thank you for that. And you can see your brother family, and we're really happy to see that we honor people that are very valuable for this. It's a great asset for that one. And I'm excited that I was able to be part of the new wave of arts introduced to the district. It's a really honor, along with my fellow board members. So I'm excited about it, including that shows that we're inclusive on all matters and whatever it takes. So that being said, we'll be welcoming to all those. I was excited to see a psychologist and a speech pathologist and, people interested in working with us. And, there's negativity everywhere, but we are stand out about it. So I'm very proud to be part of the family as well. So for that being said, everybody, I wish everybody good night, and we'll be in the school soon after I finish completing my trainings, but I will do that. Thank you. Have a good night.
Dr. Burke.
Yes, I'd like to give a shout out quickly to the maintenance and operations team. You mentioned the smooth start to the school year. It did, a lot of work went in over the summer in getting campuses beautified and getting them ready. But then the responsive work that people have done, especially I want to give a shout out to Gustavo, who is our key master. But then I was out on a campus where the AC was broken, and there was Gustavo out there fixing the AC, making sure that the kids and the staff were comfortable. And the response of the teacher was elated. He was out there within an hour and a half of when she reported the problem, and it was working same day, just a little bit later. So that type of work means everything in the world to us and keeps the focus on where it belongs, on the learning. So thank you very much to the team.
Dr. Kevin.
I want to congratulate all of our new employees, and all of that work is also part of Paola Pineda's contribution to our department. So I want to congratulate Paola as well, and thank her for everything that she does. And I just want to say welcome to the new school year, and I've enjoyed visiting the schools each week. So thank you.
Dr. Kraft.
Thank you. I wanted to start by thanking Beth Hayes, who has been holding down the fort, and more than that, at Central. There's a lot going on at Central. There's some construction, and every time we come to see her, we've had the opportunity to go to Central these last 2 Tuesdays. Big smile on the face, and things are moving forward. And I want to say thank you to the Central staff for such a wonderful welcome to us and hosting. And I want to thank all of our new employees to the Annecy family. I too am very excited to see those positions being filled. And then I wanted to thank the tech team. Today, I had the opportunity to work with Mr. Cossey as he came in as our new executive director, and he couldn't talk more positively about what a wonderful team they are and how well they shine. So,
There you go.
Dr. Brady.
Yes, I just want to also congratulate Paola for being Employee of the Month, and a big warm welcome to all of our new family members for the National School District. Thank you to Trustee Bettencourt Castañeda for your update from Delegate Assembly, and our apologies for making you wait so long to make sure that we had our LCAP presentations, our budget presentations, our summer hiring needs, and to make sure that you still made time to give that information to your fellow trustees and to us. So thank you for that. I want to invite the board to a ribbon cutting at El Tejon School. Not this coming Tuesday, but the following Tuesday, August 27th. I will also put it in my weekly update, but again, August 27th, Tuesday morning, El Tejon, 7:45 to about 8:30, may not go that long. But as you recall, this last year, we've been working with the Sun Safety, there's a Sun Safety outreach organization that likes to donate shade to school districts. And they are donating $50,000 toward 14 heavy-duty park bench style tables with a solar panel shade top. And the reason why we chose this is because our gardens, often because they need sunlight to grow the vegetables, our gardens don't have shady places for students to sit. So we chose to put one in each of our school gardens. Our Olivewood Gardens teachers or instructors said that it would be great to have a power source, but there were no power sources out in the garden. So this would provide a power source through the renewable solar panel. The other thing we want, and the Sun Safety, why they want to partner with us, is that the sun is very powerful. And we want to teach students how to protect themselves by sitting in the shade, by wearing sunscreen. And they have some videos that the students can watch. But when you see that a solar panel can collect the sun and then create a power source, you see the power of the sun. So all of those are teachable moments. And it goes with our sustainability efforts with renewable energy as well. So we're going to do a ribbon cutting. They're going to hand us the $50,000 check. We'll do a press release, and we hope that you can come out. We'll invite all of our parents to come out and see the new tables and to thank the committee or the organization for their donation. I am a proud member of all 10 of our PTAs for my 9th year now. You can join our PTAs at jointotem.com. I'll also put this in my weekly update. They're online. You just go in, you click on join, you search for National School District, all of our schools are listed, you click on join, and then you're able to see how much each school is asking for membership, and then you can join online that way. As Trustee Avalos said, we did talk about the difference between being visitors and being volunteers and all of the different regulations. We mentioned the new regulations around workplace violence prevention, and also it goes to them as well to make sure that they're safe while they're on our campuses. And then we talked about how to work with PTAs in schools, and one of the things that I didn't point it out to the presenter, but we do have a limit on fundraisers we can do with food, chocolates being one of them, to one fundraiser per year. We ask our PTAs because we do care about the nutrition. So as Trustee Sarmiento mentioned, you can give a donation if you don't want to buy the food. And then we also don't allow assemblies to market to our students. So they can give the students information about the awards, but they cannot bring them to the auditorium and pitch, if you sell this much chocolate, you get these prizes, because we want to honor our instructional time. So they can go quickly, a 5-minute presentation at each classroom, give them the information, and they can certainly earn the incentives, but we don't allow that assembly style. And that is in the information they received today per guidance from the board in years past. So I just wanted to let you know that that went out to them. And then my final update is just a reminder that I will be leaving to the East Coast for my niece's wedding, and I won't be here next week. I will be scanning my emails, but Dr. Kraft will be my official designee starting tomorrow. So if you need anything, of course, you can reach out to Jocelyn Vanessa, but also Dr. Kraft can help you with any needs you may have.
All right, and thank you. Have a great evening.
All right, well, I'm going to join with the entire crew and thank Paola and the entire HR department. You are gracious in the way that you invite people to be part of this school district. And you are our first face to everyone. And so I honestly, please pass on to your entire crew, Dr. Kevin, how thankful we are that you present us so well that people do want to come here and be part of our school district. We know that we make you work like fiends over the 6 weeks of summer in order to fill all the available spaces. And we also know that you get surprises along the way. But thank you for all that you've done, and all that you have done, and that you continue to do for that. Please, everyone, feel free to sign up for your PTAs. We know that not everybody can be a volunteer. We realize that lots of people are actually at work, or you're at home with your own smaller children. We realize that that's a thing, but being part of your PTA does make it possible for those who can to be there and be present. I do want to shout out to all of our students, all of our staff, all of our teachers and faculty for that start of school, for making it as smooth as possible, for our transportation department getting everybody sorted out, because that can be one of the most nerve-wracking things, making sure you get on a bus or you put your child on a bus to come to school on those first days. Random thing, on Friday, we'll have 10% of the year done because numbers are fun. Just put it out there. That's 6th grade math, folks, just in case. 6th grade math is a beautiful thing, just so you know. It's getting bathrooms done at my house. 6th grade math is. So any students bringing up to their 6th grade teachers, I will never need to do this math again. You will use it all the time. It's real. And with that, thank you for the evening, and this meeting is adjourned.
They don't need that.